Yes. From this hell we call Earth, it is the news. What do you think about that, Trent?
I like it. Like I say it every week, and people who listen to this program, every week, which I pray for you if you do sometimes. But I'm telling you, the flushing of the toilet is just so endearing. I mean, it just gets you ready. It just wakes you up. It gets you pumped up because some of this news might be about literal poop, and some of it just might have some content that it's poop related. Who knows?
Well, yeah, I think you nailed it, Trent. We should pray for the people that listen to this show, because that means you're probably as messed up as we are.
Absolutely, especially you.
Yeah. I'm the leader. I'm the cult leader. Speaking of which, Trent, how about usually being a cult leader doesn't end well, right? I mean, we all know about Jim Jones and the Kool-Aid. You know about that one, Trent?
I've heard about it. I mean, that's maybe a little bit before my time, but yes, I have heard about it.
Oh yeah. It's it usually does not end well for cult leaders, and well, apparently that's universal, because 11 corpses were found at a camp of a Thai cult whose members ate bodily excrements of their 75-year-old leader. Yes, this is poop news. Because they worship this dude so much, Trent, that they ate his poop, apparently. I mean, that's what excrement is, right?
What did they think? Like eating his poop was going to, instill some of his values or something?
Well, his name, Trent, is Thawi Nanra. I think I said that right. He says,
probably not.
Trent, by the way, Thawi... He has proclaimed himself to be the father of all religions.
Ooh.
And his cult is called the Nation. It reminds me a lot of myself. I've once considered myself the self-proclaimed father of everything that's cool, for obvious reasons. I'm really a trendsetter. I'm at the forefront of fashion. Anything that's cool. You come, you look in the dictionary, and guess whose picture is right there?
But how about humbleness? Is there any humbleness instilled in you?
Absolutely not, because being humble is not cool. Everybody knows that. Come on, Trent. Get with it, bro.
I'm with it, bro.
Thawi Nanra, he proclaimed himself to be the father of all religions. His followers refer to him as the spiritual father. So he claimed that this belief was not something that he had taught them as far as them eating his bodily excrements. Instead, he said the belief had originated from his followers themselves. His followers this is pretty disgusting, but hey, stay with me here. It is poop news. This is as poop as it gets. His followers consumed his bodily excrements, saliva, mucus, urine, excrement, flaking skin, dandruff. They would eat his cigarette butts because obviously the father of all religions smokes. And 2 packs a day, by the way, not menthol either. I mean, the real stuff. So, this is the father of all religions, so he smokes the real stuff. So they would even eat his cigarette butts. As he told them, these would cure them of all of their diseases. However, it did not. Obviously, these people are dead.
Of course not.
Now, Thawi, he maintains that he never told his followers or forced them to do this. So at the camp, 11 corpses were discovered, one of which was the body of Thawi's mother. Another corpse belonged to an unidentified 1-year-old baby. The rest of the corpses belonged to Thawi's followers who had sought treatment from him for their various illnesses. So they died at the camp, and apparently he is in jail now, Trent. He was arrested on May 8th, the day the cult came to light, and the camp was raided. So, man, oh man, a cult leader. Maybe we should get into that business, Trent. We were talking about, I mean, it seems like the natural thing to do anyway. We were talking about pea beer last week. People are into this, you know, so that is a mighty elixir, apparently. But can you imagine? This guy must have been a smooth talker. I don't know.
It sounds like it to me. I mean, this guy is smooth talking, but then again,
let me tell you, I am the greatest, and if you eat my excrement, your acne will go away. Of course, you got to eat it.
He smooth talked himself right to the jailhouse.
You got to eat it. You know, it's very important. I am the father of all religions, and if you eat my dandruff, you will be able to poop on a regular basis every single day without disturbance.
Whew. So it gets rid of constipation too, I might add.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's incredible. It really is. It's pretty unbelievable. If you eat my toenail clippings, you will no longer have trouble sleeping. Why try an Ambien? You know, you just eat my toenails. It works every time.
It's kind of like superstitions.
Am I convincing? I mean, I think I could get some people to follow me, I guess. You know, I get what this guy was up to, man. This is pretty exciting stuff. You know?
Oh, yeah. It sounds like it.
If you have an upset stomach or diarrhea, just have a bite of my flaking skin and you will feel much better. I mean...
Boy, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Half as disturbing as Pepto-Bismol. Come on. Stuff tastes horrible. It's pink. So, you know, maybe my flaking skin.
I only had to take Pepto-Bismol like twice, and boy, I hated it every single time I had to do it. It was
right?
I wish they made that stuff in pills.
I'd much rather eat someone's cigarette butts than drink Pepto-Bismol.
Ugh,
just saying, Trent.
Pepto-Bismol is nasty.
All right, so
very nasty.
Hey, cults are a very scary thing, and somehow they still exist in the world today, Trent. They still exist.
Well, this show got off to a very interesting start.
That was poop news, though. It was poop, you know. It fits, I think.
Legitimately, yeah, absolutely. Well, things got heated at a Pasadena, Maryland. You know where that's at? It's in Maryland.
No, it's in let me see. It's in Maryland.
Right. There is a Pasadena. Good for you.
Somehow I knew that. That.
Great comprehension. But anyway, Pasadena, California. There's also a Pasadena, California, but this story took place in Pasadena, Maryland, and it was a community on May 31st as residents waited for their mail. WBAL TV reported 2 letter carriers got into a fight in the streets. One witness said that one of the mail carriers punched the window on the other one's mail truck, and that one backed up and slammed into the other one like bumper cars.
Oh, I like that. I like bumper cars. Bumper cars are exciting. They're entertaining. But it should not be bumper cars in real life, though. That's dangerous.
Well, there was mail all over the street that kept going around the block, and they were front to front, hitting the bumpers together, kind of like bumper cars. Residents called 911, and the Postal Service sent up a carriers to pick up the mail, which was delivered by 7 p.m.
Wow, they get it done. They get what's the saying? Rain, sleet, or snow, you know, bumper cars, whatever it is, they're going to get you your mail. And sometimes, you know, especially if it's bills, you wish that wasn't the case. You know,
right, but then it goes on to say that their regular carrier was on vacation, so the stand-ins were a little angry because they weren't familiar with this community, with this route that they were on, because their regular carriers were away and weren't able to complete the routes whenever they needed to.
Well,
so how about that?
When the cat's away, I'm pretty sure that saying somehow applies here. So that's you know, when the cat's away, Trent.
I know. Yeah, when the cat's away, you want to make sure, you know, when the cat's away, it's unfamiliar territory for the enemy.
When the cat's away, it's hard to get your mail. So
absolutely. And don't you hate it too? Like when your mail's delayed and you're really expecting something and you don't get it for like a week or so.
Oh yeah, I'm on that phone. I'm complaining. I need to speak to somebody. Somebody has to let me know where my shit is because I've been waiting for this shit for days.
Especially if it's like an overdue light bill or something. Yeah, you need to pay that.
No, I don't even want to know about it. I usually, if you know it's a bill, why even open it?
Rich, your light bill's overdue, and if you don't pay it, your lights will be off for the next 30 days. You will be in the dark for the next 30 days.
I can, but that's why, I claim ignorance. I not only am I ignorant, but I also didn't get my mail. So I think that's what that means.
Well, yeah, and then what you can do is you can also complain to the light bill person, and they'll just look at you like you're crazy.
Well, that would be offensive. I don't think they would do that. I'm a paying customer, Trent.
I know. They don't want to lose your business either.
Of course not. Of course not. Before, if they did that to me, Trent, guess what? It's solar panels on my roof right away. Right away. So we should mark your words right here then, huh?
Yeah,
they're marked. Oh yeah. They are marked. Trent, I thought this was pretty funny. It's Uber's list of weird things people left in cars. So
first of all, how many do you take a lot of Uber rides?
I did take some Uber rides when we were in Tampa just because you get tired of driving around, and it was good experiences. I had some pretty good drivers.
At least one of them wasn't me.
Well, that would have been exceptional. If you showed up driving, I would have been like, I knew this trip was going to be awesome. That's all I'm saying. We're going to have fun tonight. That means an adventure is happening. That means we're going to have a night to remember. Things are happening.
Hold on to your hats and get on the phone with your insurance company.
Well, let me ask you, Trent, do you take Ubers? And I'm sure you have. And have you ever lost anything? What's the worst thing you've ever lost in an Uber where you're like, oh, shit, I left that?
I've taken a handful of Ubers, and I can honestly say I have not lost anything as of yet. But I took an Uber recently. We were in Tampa for Game 4 of the Lightning Panthers game. Seems like eons ago, but it was only a couple weeks. It was only about this Monday will be 3 weeks ago that we went. And I really didn't lose anything. I just kind of kept on. Both drivers that we had were fantastic. I didn't leave any tater tots, or I didn't leave any other thing. I didn't leave like my phone in there, or I didn't leave anything. I just kind of kept my phone in my pocket. I almost left my handheld radio, but they told me that, hey, don't forget your radio, and they handed it back to me because I almost forgot it. But that was the closest I've ever been to leaving something in an Uber.
Yeah, I've come close a couple of times where the wallet slipped out and then you noticed right before you got out, or the phone fell out of your pocket. So, a couple of situations like that. But the weirdest thing I probably left in an Uber was the Italian sandwich that I just got at Subway. I just bought it and I left it in the Uber, and of course they never came back. So that's a good sandwich, Trent. That's a good sandwich.
Oh man, you didn't even get a chance to join it to enjoy yourself, man. But you may not have had anything to eat all day, and you wanted that Italian sandwich, and next thing you know, oops, sorry, I left it for. And the Uber driver's going, yes, free sandwich. Oh yeah, party time USA.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about any sandwich. Come on, give me a break. This is my sandwich. But that's just to get you ready for this list. And there's a bunch of things here. Let's see what we got here. So you mentioned tater tots earlier in the show, and I don't know how you leave tater tots. They're so delicious and special, but someone left tater tots apparently.
My question is, did they have cheese on them?
Well, if they have cheese, then there's a mess back there, dude. That's not cool. I feel bad for the driver. But apparently someone, I don't know how you leave your fingernail on the seat.
Fingernail.
Yeah. There's someone left their fingernail, it says.
No, I will say I've heard someone leaving a fake nail in an Uber one time, like legit. Somebody left it, or not in an Uber, but I heard a story on the radio one time about this guy leaving a fake fingernail in his girlfriend's car, and he so that it is possible, but it's very weird when it happens.
My grandma's teeth. Someone
Ugh.
left their grandma's teeth in the Uber.
Why would you have your grandmother's teeth in the first place? Wouldn't your grandmother have? I mean,
Yeah.
the grandmother must have been in the Uber, but
Shouldn't your grandmother have her teeth? You're right. I agree with you. Grandma should have grandma's teeth. I should not. What am I doing with grandma's teeth? Do I need them? Did I have to borrow them? Am I holding them hostage? What's going on here?
yeah, I would hope not. That'd be scary.
Let's see. A grass cutter and tree trimmer. I would, that's a lot to take on an Uber. What are you doing?
Yeah, why would you have your tree trimmer and your
Would
your
you
mower?
let that dude in your Uber, Trent, if he showed up with the grass cut? Now they don't. I'm assuming these are used, so they must be dirty, and I don't want that in the back of my car.
Absolutely not, especially if it's a new car. A lot of the Ubers these days are relatively new, so you want to keep them all up to date and up to par.
Now I would have been surprised with ukulele, but apparently a Billie Eilish ukulele. So I'm not sure what the difference is. Is it a signed Billie Eilish ukulele, or is it? I don't know.
My assumption is somebody probably went to a Billie Eilish concert and they got a signed ukulele, and
Or was it Billie Eilish in the Uber, and she left her ukulele? That's what it means. She was the passenger, and she left.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible. A breathalyzer. You don't need that back there. Well, I guess you do want. Maybe every Uber should have a breathalyzer, right? We need to know that that guy's sober when he's driving me around. Very important. A harmonica. You don't want to leave your harmonica. It depends on what key too.
Hey, you know what? I'd lean out the window and I'd be playing that harmonica for everybody who drove by, especially when if we're at like red lights and everything, and especially in downtown Tampa near Channel Side, you get a lot of people walking. Man, I'd be playing that harmonica all day. I'd be putting it to good use.
A Darth Vader helmet. Now that sucks to leave in the Uber. You don't want to lose your Darth Vader helmet. Come on, man. That's not cool at all. A painting of Kung Fu Panda. Come on. You can't lose that. What's wrong with you? How do you leave that behind? It's a painting of Kung Fu Panda, and you just left it in the Uber. How are you going to get that back? A breast pump and a white cowboy hat? How do you leave your breast pump and your white cowboy hat? Two vital things. You can't leave that behind. Come on, man. You need that breast pump. It's a baby needs to eat. Baby needs to eat.
Especially with all the formula shortages we're hearing about these days. That's crazy.
Are you exact? Thank you, Trent. Very good point. 17 flowers and 3 milk teas. What are you doing, bro? You forgot 17 flowers and 3 milk teas?
Yeah, those flowers.
You didn't even get to drink any of the tea. You left it behind. It's just the things people leave behind in these Ubers. 10 pounds of hamburger meat. I mean,
good Lord,
it's 10 pounds of hamburger meat.
How could you not smell that when that stuff goes bad?
This is my personal favorite. I don't know how you lose this. A dart that says "Unleash the Beast." It's a good dart. You can't lose that. It's a good dart. That's the one in your arsenal that you save for the end of the game, and you need that bullseye. Well, guess what? I'm unleashing the beast because it's time to win this game.
My thing is, how do you lose? Like for example, back to with all these lost items, Uber, last time I checked, doesn't have like a lost and found or anything. So how do you retrieve them? I guess you don't.
I'm sure if I could try to reach out to the driver, send a message. There's got to be some way, or as you said, Trent, it's just what they would call the Uber void. Once it falls in, it never comes out. You're screwed. So you better not lose your shit in the Uber void.
And don't take too much crap that you don't need. So.
But, everything we read, Trent, you need. Are you kidding me? You need Unleash the Beast Dart. What are you need 10 pounds of hamburger meat. Who doesn't? You need 17 flowers. It's just, you need a Darth Vader helmet. You need these things. Essentials. Trent.
Yeah.
Essentials.
It could the Darth Vader helmet could have been left in the Uber like Halloween night or something. Who knows? That could have been a key part of somebody's costume if they dressed up for Darth Vader.
Maybe it was Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker from the multiverse, taking an Uber because he needs to find the Sith Lord that's going to help create the Empire in our universe. I just wrote a new movie. Come get me, Disney. I just wrote that. You know how successful that would be, Trent? I'm like a genius.
I'm sure it would be. Just like everything else you do.
Of course. Well, good point, Trent. Good point. Get at me, Disney.
Yeah, that's about like 15 good points I've made. And how many points have you made so far?
I mean, everything I say is a point, Trent, so it's incalculable. You understand?
But was it a good point or a subpar point?
Well, that is a subjective thing, Trent, and I don't live in the subjective. I'm very objective, and it's up to you what you take away from what I say. So, carry on.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Guinness World Records, Trent. It's and one of my favorite aspects of that is that some of these records can be extremely great, just something that's so impressive. Look at what that guy did. And then you have some Guinness World Records where a guy's spinning a pillow on his finger, the most ridiculous thing ever. So, and I kid, Trent, you can think of something where you'll break a Guinness World Record and you can be even more famous than you are right now.
I know, and the Guinness World Record I'm going to break is listening to you talk for as many hours as I possibly can, without getting a headache.
Trent,
while doing so.
You're a genius. Why can't that be a Guinness record? 100%. Because check this out. We'll start here. We all know David Rush. So anyone who listens to this show knows David Rush. He is the most prolific Guinness World Record owner. He has 250 Guinness World Records, and he's done it to promote STEM education. And he has a new record now. What's his new record, Trent? His new record is he wrapped his niece in newspaper.
Wrapped his niece in newspaper.
Yeah. David Rush, who's broken nearly 250 Guinness World Records, said he practiced for the record with his son Joey. However, he didn't have the right body build, so he went to his niece because newspaper is so easy to rip, and it doesn't like to not rip when being pulled around curved surfaces. So he enlisted his niece, and he wrapped her in 2 minutes and 53 seconds, completely wrapping her in newspaper. This is what I'm talking about, Trent. We could have thought about this and said, let's wrap each other in. It's ridiculous. How is this a Guinness World? Who does that? Who tries to wrap a person in newspaper?
I don't know.
Have you ever tried to wrap somebody in newspaper, Trent?
No, and it just sounds creepy. It sounds creepy even thinking about it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's something from like a serial killer movie or something, right?
Can you real quick? Can you wrap me in newspaper? That's what you want.
There's something wrong with that. It's not even. That's true, Trent. It's disturbing. So I don't get that record. But on the other hand, you get this guy, Trent, who with his jaw pulled a Cessna airplane.
Oh man, yeah. And you know what? I've flown on a Cessna airplane, and those things are no joke, man. Even though they're small, those things are no joke. They use a lot of fuel, but I could not imagine pulling a Cessna with your teeth, even though the plane is small.
So Abdel Hamid from Egypt was able to tow the plane, which weighs 14 tons. Using a rope placed between his jaws, he pulled the plane for a distance of about 6.2 meters.
You can't make this stuff up, can you?
Is pretty hard to believe. Momentarily, by the way, the Golden State Warriors got the lead. This was a 17-point game, close to 20-point game, under 10. Klay Thompson to the basket. He just got fouled. They got the lead down to 8, but the Celtics came right back and hit a 3. 82-71 Celtics with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter.
How dare you interrupt the story about the Cessna? I was really involved in that. And you said, 17-point lead for the Boston Celtics. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I was really enthralled with this Cessna story, bro.
I don't know what to say. I have to apologize. I'm sorry. I was taken aback.
You're forgiven.
By the Golden State comeback. But yes, 14 tons. Can you imagine, Trent? The best I ever did was I pulled 3 tons with my jaw. So nowhere close for me. But what can I tell you? That's why he's the champion.
You pulled 3 tons with your jaw? How can you still talk?
Not very impressive. But I mean, do you hear me talk? That is the power of my mouth. Okay, I can pull 3 tons with
I hear you talk pretty much every day, and sometimes it's more than I would desire. I'm sure, but
like you said, let's think about a Guinness World Record there. Most consecutive minutes listening to Rich Carroll without dying or something. This is a great Guinness record that we should get going. I think it's.
So the next time we have the Cessna airplane, next time I'm around one, I'm going to try to pull it with my teeth and see what happens.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we got a police report here on my end. We have in Orwell, Ohio. I don't know where that is.
I think it's in Ohio.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Obvious. It's in Orwell, Ohio. The police called the Ashtabula County Sheriff's Office to help them corral a drunk driving suspect on May 14th. But it wasn't your typical reckless driver, WAIO-TV reported. 21-year-old Nathan Miller was charged with operating a vehicle while intoxicated for driving his horse-drawn Amish buggy on the wrong side of the road. Officers were able to get in front of the horse and buggy, but the rig didn't stop. It turns out that Miller was passed out in the driver's seat.
Oh, the horses were just doing their own thing?
Yeah. While deputies were trying to get control of the horse, it crashed into the control car. He was treated for injuries at the scene. The operator of the patrol car, that is, was treated for injuries at the scene. So how about that? I've seen a lot of people driving drunk on the road, but a horse and carriage, that's a new one.
Oh, yeah, and he's passed out. He's not even driving it. It's pretty ridiculous. So the horse was like, well, I want to do something, and he got out there. By the way, Trent, I'm going to cut in here again. Steph Curry just hit this crazy 3 and the foul as Horford walks under him when he takes the 3. To me, you should be kicked out of the game when you do something like that. You got to give the guy space. Curry easily could have twisted his ankle on this play. But he landed just right to where he didn't, and he hits the 3 too, about a 35-foot 3, wild shot. And all of a sudden, if he hits this free throw, it will be a 6-point game, and actually a 5-point game.
How about this? I mean, hey, the NBA Finals it's not over. I watched the whole first quarter before we started doing this show, and Boston was clicking on all cylinders, and all the Boston fans were like, "Hey, man, we're up, we're doing this, we're doing that." Listen, you got 48 minutes to play. You got 4 quarters. There's going to be ebbs and flows of a basketball game, and the Golden State Warriors, no matter what the deficit is, you can never, ever, ever, ever count them out. Especially with Curry on the floor. By
the way, this is being reviewed, so I'm watching it on mute. But, yeah, I don't like that play. It's a dangerous play, and it's being reviewed by the officials to see if it's a technical foul. It's one of the most dangerous plays in basketball.
If I was an NBA official, as much as respect as I have for Horford and all that, I'm sorry, you can't do that. That's a tech on.
And it is a tech. It is called a technical foul. And like I said, so it's going to be a free throw here, and it's good. It's a 5-point game and possession for the Warriors, and it's just a bad play by Horford, and it turns into a huge possession for the Warriors here. You get the 4 points there, and a chance now to cut deeper into this lead with possession. 82-77, Golden State has the ball, and all of a sudden this is a big momentum swing after that foul by Horford. But you hate to see that, and if you're the Celtics, you don't want to win with an injured Steph Curry. You want to beat the Warriors being the Warriors. And Porter hits an incredible 3-point shot, and it's 82-80 with 4:47 to go here in the third quarter. So Golden State on a 9-0 run, and it looks like we're in for a big finish, Trent.
Yeah, and 82-80, and we're still in the third quarter. Am I correct on that?
Oh yeah, 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Golden State right back in it. So
could be a wild ride to the finish.
Oh yeah, big time. Any other stories on your end, Trent?
Yeah, let me. I'm pulling up one more here, and we got the headline to this one says, "Oops."
Oops, I like that story.
During a May 24th broadcast of on the BBC of the French Open Tennis Championship, the news ticker at the bottom of the screen briefly read, "Manchester United are rubbish," Reuters reported. And if you notice that rubbish means garbage, anyway.
What? I thought rubbish meant candy.
I'm sure.
I want to eat some rubbish. Bloody rubbish. No, I know what rubbish is, Trent. Obviously, many people have called me rubbish. But I don't care what the haters think, Trent. I am not rubbish.
So from what I'm reading here, that someone was they had someone in training that was trying to learn how to put text on the ticker. The ticker at the bottom of your screen that you read on ESPN. You see a lot of things.
Yeah,
come up on
the professional term in the business. You know what it is, Trent?
What's that?
It's the crawl. So they call it in the TV business, the crawl.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is, a lot of people don't know what the crawl could be. So that's why I am tailoring this story to our audience, because people know what the ticker is. How dare you
assume ignorance with our audience, Trent? We have some of the smartest people in the world listening to this show. This is highbrow entertainment, my friend.
Are you one of them?
I mean, of course. I'm one of the brightest minds.
Apparently, someone was trying to learn how to use the machine, and so they were writing random text on it, and they wrote "Manchester United are rubbish," and so the on-air anchor issued an apology saying that somebody was in training. I hope Manchester United fans are not offended. Manchester United did not release a statement after the fact regarding this. So wouldn't that be interesting? You would do a double take, and especially with DVR nowadays, you can actually pause the TV if you see something weird on the bottom line or on the scroll, if you want me to use the technical term. You can pause the TV and rewind it and say, did I really just read that? And I guarantee you, most people who are watching that broadcast did.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty insane. Trent, finally, let me tell you about this. I thought this was wild. I want to end the news on this because I didn't even know this was a thing. But apparently, an elixir for health for human beings through the centuries was to actually eat mummies.
Oh my gosh!
Do you know what a mummy is?
Yeah.
Really? I thought that was okay. I guess you as well, Trent, can be entered into a long line of the greatest minds in the entire world, because I didn't think you knew what a mummy was. I'm kind of surprised.
I'm proud to be in your company.
Yeah, you can join me with if I might start calling you Mr. Big Brains now, just to warn you.
Okay.
So don't be offended by it. It's a compliment.
Oh, I'm not offended whatsoever.
Mr. Big Brains. Okay. But I guess this is what the article says. It says, driven by the belief that ground up and tinctured human remains can cure anything from bubonic plague to a headache, and then by the macabre ideas Victorian people had about after dinner entertainment, the bandaged corpses, or mummies as I like to call them, of ancient Egyptians were the subject of fascination from the Middle Ages to the 19th century to right now. I mean, Tom Cruise just did a movie called The Mummy. You know, maybe that was like 5 years ago, but I'm just saying, they're like, it's the subject of fascination from the Middle Ages to the 19th century. Excuse me, 2016, The Mummy starring Tom Cruise, it's still a subject of fascination. Trent, are you not fascinated by mummies?
I mean, they're okay, I guess.
They're fascinating. These are dead people preserved for thousands of years. Perfect condition. You can study them. You can apparently eat them. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Now, according to some of those ancient beliefs, eating the mummies, much like eating my excrement, could cure illness. It could cure anything. Anything, Trent. It's the ultimate cure. Just eat mummies. Now, the product produced from mummies was called mumia. That's how I'm going to say it. Mumia. The product from mummified bodies was a medicinal substance consumed for centuries by rich and poor, available in apothecaries, shops, and created from the remains of mummies brought from Egyptian tombs back to Europe. So this is something that went on, Trent. And basically, is this not cannibalism? If the people are dead, does it mean you're not eating a person? Does it stop being cannibalism?
I don't know. I mean, that's a great question. Does it stop being cannibalism? I'm not sure.
12th century apothecaries were using ground-up mummies for their otherworldly medicinal properties. Mummies were prescribed medicine for 500 years approximately. So this is something that went on in human civilization, and I find it fascinating, Trent. We believed for 500 years that eating dead people would cure living diseases. That's pretty fascinating.
That really is.
And this was going on into the 18th century. People are kind of odd.
Kinda. I'd say to very certainly, quite very odd.
Human history's weird.